Hello, grammarians. Let me introduce the idea of the verb tense, and the way I want to do that is to express the following. If you can master grammatical tenses, you'll become a time wizard, a literal, actual time wizard, because tense is nothing more than the ability of verbs to situate themselves in time, specifically in three different times. So, in the past, the present, or the future, it can happen. Now, when we are talking about a verb can happen now, a verb can happen later, or a verb could have happened in the past. Then that's basically it. And if you master tenses, then you will be able to tell stories that span all of time. And I think that ability is kind of astonishing, that language can express that sort of idea. Now let's take a very simple word, bake, and put it in the present. I would just say, I bake. In the future, it will be, I will bake. And in the past, I baked. Now this is the simple form of every English tense, present, past, and future. Let's check out about tenses a little bit more. Tenses mean time. A verb indicates action, and the time of the action indicates the tense of a verb. Let's talk a little bit more about simple present tense. Simple present tense is also known as present indefinite tense, and it is used to say something that is said always or is generally true and happens regularly, like the sun rises in the east, or for something that's happening for a long time and that is still continuing to happen, like we study regularly. It's also used to express habitual actions, like I always study in the morning. It's also used to express universal truths, like water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Simple present tense is used to express a fact or something which is true at present, like she teaches English to her students. It's also used to express future actions planned in advance, especially concerning a journey, like the train leaves at 6 in the morning. Now, moving further to it, I would like to discuss that every sentence is basically divided in three. Like every sentence has got three things. It has a subject, it has a verb, and an object. Now, if I talk about a sentence, I bake a cake, here I is a subject, bake is a verb, and cake is an object. In the following recording, I'll be discussing about the different kind of sentences. Like I'll be talking about affirmative sentences, and then negative, and then interrogative and negative interrogative sentences. And we'll discuss how we frame it. First of all, let's discuss about affirmative sentences. We must know that we use first form of the verb with I, you, we, they. And for the rest, that is for third person singular, he, she, it, name, we use first form of the verb plus s or es. Now let's take an example for it. The way I have already discussed, I bake a cake. Here, I is a subject, bake is a verb, and a cake is an object. We have already done that. Now, if we replace I to you or they or we, the sentence will remain the same. But if we replace it to any of third person singular, that is he, she, it, name, it will take first form of the verb plus ses. Then sentence will become he bakes a cake. Or she goes to a forest. If we take another sentence, if we replace she with it or name Sia, the sentence will remain the same. That is, we will use first form of the verb plus ses with it. Now let's take the sentence and frame it back again. The sentence will become it goes to a forest or Sia goes to a forest. I hope I made it clear. Now let's come to negative sentences. Here in this sentence, I bake a cake. If I convert it into negative, we will use do or does with it. Now, do will be used with I, you, we, they, and does will be used with third person singular, that is he, she, it names. Now, sentence framed in negative will become I do not bake a cake. Here in this sentence, I is the subject, do not is helping verb, bake is a verb, and a cake is an object. Now, sentence will remain same if we change I to you or we or they. And if we replace subject to the third person singular, that is a he, she, it name, we will use does not with it. Like it will become he does not bake a cake. Now, coming further to the third kind of sentence, interrogative sentences, very conveniently we will bring forward do or does before subject. Now, the sentence will become do I bake a cake or does he bake a cake? Whenever we are using do or does, this must be kept in mind that we always use first form of the verb, whether or not we are using the subjects like I, you, we, they, or he, she, it names. It doesn't make any difference. We'll always use first form of the verb with it. Now, moving towards the last one, that is the negative interrogative sentences, let's bring forth do or does before subject and will add not after the subject, and the sentence will become do I not bake a cake? Or if we flip I to the subject he, the sentence will become does he not bake a cake? I think I made this thing pretty clear to you. The rules I have discussed were pretty clear to you. Please practice, revise, rehearse, and talk back. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.